Before you buy anywhere, call toll-free 1-800-RAPER-RV. Nobody beats Tom Raper's bottom line deal. I-70 exit 149A, Richmond, Indiana, home of the Rose Festival.
I'm no different from anybody else. I wanted a good job with the future. So I studied electronics at ITT Technical Institute. Electronics is the career field with the most equal pay for women and men. Now I've got my associate degree, a good job, and a great future.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for this informative brochure. That's 1-800-942-0088.
You know, kids always will be kids, getting into things they shouldn't, playing make-believe, and sometimes finding things on their own. But kids, if you ever find a gun, stop right there. Don't touch the gun and leave right away to tell your mom, dad, or another adult. And folks, if you have a gun in your home, be absolutely sure that it's stored in a safe and secure location. Because remember, kids will be kids. This message is a public service of this station and the National Shooting Sports Foundation.
Serve up the laughs with Cheers tonight at 11:35 on 21 Live.
Does that feel great? We are so pleased to be coming to you all this week from Macon, Georgia. You told me you have something to say.
Yes, I am tired of working all day long, coming home to a dirty house, having all the responsibility of the housework on me. I'm tired of it.
A woman can feel that way, right? What do you say?
Absolutely not. A woman's place is in the home, especially if she has kids.
Our subject today, plain and simple, is women who are tired of being slaves to their husbands. Stay with us. And I must tell you, they are passionate about this topic in the South. Okay, meet Pat and Boots Welch. Would you raise your hands? Big audience there. From Tennessee. Pat says she does everything for her husband. She gets up at 4 in the morning just to make his lunch, put out his clothes, and send him off to work. She says he is completely helpless without her. In fact, he doesn't even know how to make a sandwich. Boots says women belong in the home, and all they're good for is cooking, cleaning, and raising children. Lily and Cleveland live in New York. They've been married for 10 years. They both have full-time jobs, but Lily says her job doesn't end at 5 o'clock when she gets home. Cleveland expects her to wait on him hand and foot. Cleveland says, hey, women are born to take care of men. Meet Leslie and Ted Rutland. They hail from Tucker, Georgia. Ted says he pays his wife a salary to cook, clean, and be a mother to his child. Leslie says she's tired of being treated like an employee instead of a wife. Ted, when you pay somebody a salary, usually means they're working for you. Is Leslie working for you?
Well, she's working for the house. Her primary job is to run the house. The salary's there to cover the expenses, take care of the child, run the house like it ought to be run. It is her job.
What is the job description? If you had to hire Leslie, your wife, how would you describe this job?
To cook, to clean, to take care of the child, take care of the child's needs, make sure the child has what he needs, use whatever's extra for her.
And how many hours a day would this job go?
18 to 20. He'll usually sleep, 4 or 5 hours a night uninterrupted.
What would you pay for a job like that?
The current pay is $250 a week.
You're right.
I get $25 extra for whatever I feel like I should do.
Well, you get $25 a week to do what you want with?
Mm-hmm.
She gets a bonus.
We're guessing. I haven't yet got my bonus.
What's the bonus for? I mean, how do you get the bonus?
No, her bonus will be if I go to the cleaners and pick up the cleaning, or if I happen to go to the grocery store and buy the groceries, that'll be her bonus.
Yeah.
It'll save her a little extra money to where she can go out and do what she needs to do.
Aha, I see. So if you do something extra and she doesn't have to pay for it, she can keep the extra money, like the $10 from the cleaning or something like that?
I would like to say one thing. If I am an employee, don't employees get paid like 2 weeks vacation? You know,
Leslie, talk to us. How do you feel about your husband? You're a young woman, you're newly married comparatively, you have a young child. What's wrong with your life? Tell me about it.
Well, when we first got married, I thought, you know, hey, this is great. I'm 22 years old. This man, he's in the Ferrari part business. You know, there's money here, you know. Ooh, you know, but people ask me, did you marry for the money? No, I can honestly tell you no, because I don't have any. You know, $250 a week, period. You know, and occasionally he'll go to the grocery store. But at first, yeah, it was okay, it was fun, because I didn't really understand what this was going to turn out to be. Okay, we had the baby, and all of a sudden, I've got the baby, I've got the cooking, I've got the cleaning. I mean, I go ahead and tell you I'm not a cook, and I don't like cleaning. I hate the laundry, and he's going to talk about the laundry. Okay, I confess, you know. But yes, it's awful, because he gets to go do whatever he wants to do, and I'm stuck in this house. I am a prisoner in this house. And the baby he's 2 years old and still does not sleep through the night. And he thinks the baby slept when he was born. So that gives you the indication he doesn't get up. You know, I mean, I am doing it.
You have told our producer he makes a mess, he's manipulative and cheap. He puts pressure on you and you get no respect. Are you going to stand by that statement?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Ted, how is she as a cook? Is she a good cook?
The best thing she'll make is reservations. And she can make a mean pot of spaghetti.
I cook more than spaghetti.
The only thing that will get me up in the morning faster than coffee is her threatening to make the coffee. She will get better about cooking, hopefully, as time goes along. She knows where the kitchen is because the refrigerator is located in that room. And, she has made more efforts.
She's making efforts. It sounds like you're training a dog, if you don't mind me saying that. You know, like it's almost housework. You have made this statement to our producers: a woman can't stand to see a man comfortable. What do you mean by that?
If I go and get a Coke, bag of Fritos, cigarettes, ashtray, lay down on the sofa in front of the TV, as soon as I turn it on, she's in the bathtub, I hear this, "Sweetheart." So I get up and go walking in there, and she goes, "Could you hand me a bar of soap, please? It's cold out there."
I can agree with that.
As soon as you get comfortable, it always seems like there's something they want you to get up and do.
All right, so we'll deal with that. Do women hate to see men comfortable? Lily, you've got 13 jobs, you told me. Name them.
Yes, I do. And I have a list with me also.
Okay.
Taxi service,
No.
accountant,
No.
tailor, banker, doctor, nurse, psychiatrist, laundry service, chef, maid, back scratcher, lawn keeper, and painter.
You seem a little annoyed with Cleveland. If you could give us a few sentences about what's wrong with your life. What's wrong?
Well, he seems to think that my work and my job is not important because I work.
It's not? Wait,
It's
Clinton,
not.
did you just
No,
say it's not?
Because all she does when she goes down there, all she has to do is just, you know, watch the kids, right, and make sure they're clean, and her job is basically done. When mine is a constantly mine job, and I have to lift heavy things all day long, and, you know.
But wait a minute. Cleveland, doesn't Lily work a full 8-hour shift 5 days a week?
Well, but it's next to nothing.
You know,
it's next to nothing. Her job is supposed to be to cater to me and what I want, because that's the way it was in the beginning. That's the way it was in the beginning. She used to do all these things for me in the beginning. She used to do my clothes, make sure I'm comfortable. You know, if we wanted to have sex, she was there for that, you know. And I didn't want these things to end. I did not want these things to end. And all of a sudden she gets a job. I'm left out in the cold here.
But you think her job is not a good job? What do you do, Lily?
It's a good job for her, but...
I'm a mental hygiene therapist.
You're a hygiene therapist. You work 8 hours a day.
Yes, I do, sometimes 16.
But Cleveland, you're saying that's not really work?
No, that's not really work. Not at all.
And also I go to school at night.
And you take care of the entire family and everything else?
Yes, I do.
When is this?
When I come home from work, I work night shift.
Nowadays, she don't do
When
anything.
I come home in the morning, I have to get the kids on the bus.
No, I don't agree
I also babysit other children. So when I come home from work, I have...
You babysit other children?
I have 5 children.
Or do you tell me to get up? No, you tell me to get up and do that.
And, you know, I'm tired all the time. And he feels that
Tired
I
of what?
should do everything. But see, that's why I gave up 2 jobs. I'm not a maid anymore, and I'm not a chef anymore. Because... But I don't... We have a son. And I feel... See, this problem stems all the way back for years. That women were raised by their mothers, and the sons have been pampered. Now, if we don't start raising our sons along with our daughters, we're going to have this problem always.
Come on.
Okay. What we've got going here is more a major problem for America than it just is the battle of the sexes. You're going to meet another couple from another stage of life, and we're also going to ask these women, why are you staying married to these guys when we return?
Over the past 30 years, more people have taken one brand of sleep aid more than any other for a good night's sleep. Sominex. Sominex has the one ingredient doctors recommend most to help you fall asleep safely without worry. Safe, simple Sominex.
Carpet 50% off, padding 50% off, installation 50% off. That's more than a sale. It's a history-making event. Right now at New York Carpet World, carpet prices slashed in half. Price of padding slashed in half. Price of installation slashed in half. Save 50% on hundreds of carpets. Stainmasters, Berbers, Saxonies, Traceries. With any carpet, half off pad and half off labor. Shop the incredible half off sale till 9 p.m. at New York Carpet World.
Okay, Ron Harper, basketball superstar, has a head, right? You have a head, right? He has elbows, you have elbows. He has a butt, you have a butt. He has knees, you have knees. He has Nike Air Flights. You don't have Nike Air Flights. Okay, let's start at the top, fellas. Ron Harper, basketball superstar, has a head. You have a head, but you're not using that head because on your feet are no high-flying, slam-dunking Nike Air Flights. I repeat, listen.
It was a deadly case of revenge. Good morning, I'm Victor Locke. A Cuban exile held in the fire deaths of 87 persons at an illegal New York club early Sunday morning is said to be remorseful, nonetheless facing murder and arson charges. Closer to home, a suspicious fire at a Southside Fort Wayne business last night left a firefighter sore after he fell through a roof trying to douse the blaze. Area police are still seeking your help in finding 17-year-old Tanya Wiseman, last seen Friday at Southtown Mall. And in the weather, plenty of sunshine for the first part of the week. It's all at noon from 21 Alive.
Cherry Blossom Festival in Macon, but this topic is important to all of America, and it is not, very important to all of America, and it is not exclusive to Georgia. Our last couple, Pat was married. She's another housewife, full-time housewife, married at 14. She tried to work outside the house once, and what happened?
Just about split us up. He was ready to divorce me.
He was ready to divorce you? Why?
Well, he wants me there when he's there, and he wants me to, you know, wait on him hand and foot. He was raised that way, and he thinks, you know, I'm supposed to do it that way also.
You've got 4 children and 4 grandchildren. What's your complaint about Boots?
That he just doesn't appreciate, you know, what I do. You know, he takes me for granted. I mean, when it's hunting season, depends on what season of the year it is, you know, he's either deer hunting or raccoon hunting, or he's fishing. Depends on the season, and I'm left there, you know, weekends, weeknights, weekends. You know, you get the supper ready, and we'll all eat, and then we're gone hunting. And
now, Boots, you said women should only have 1 pair of shoes
a year. 1 pair of shoes a year is all a woman needs.
Right. What's the reason? Do you mean that? What's the reason for it?
Why would they need more than 1 pair of shoes? They just need 1 pair of shoes a year. That's so they mow the lawn, you know, maybe have a pair to wear. Grocery store.
And to mop the
They
floors.
don't need a washer and dryer. Or
they don't need a washer and dryer.
No permanent press clothes. Tell them what.
What do you think of when you're listening here?
Make me sick, because my husband...
Oh, God.
My husband always blames me when anything goes wrong. He blames me. No matter what it is, if he had something to do with it, it's still my fault.
She says she's feeling sick. And you, how do you feel?
What is this guy's name? Ted?
Which one, darling?
In the blue?
Yes.
I had a Ted myself that was rather a chauvinist. But anyways, I sat here and figured up 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, $1.78 a minute. What do you think that...
An hour.
An hour, not a minute, not a minute, I'm sorry. Do you think that's fair pay for what a woman has to do or what you expect her to do?
I think it's fair pay because when you get married, you accept the basic responsibility you're going to run a house.
Sally, I have to interrupt here. I'm hearing pay, I'm hearing shoes, I'm hearing money. I'm not hearing friendship, I'm not hearing romance, I'm not hearing companionship. Why are you married?
This is a question we said that we were going to deal with.
I mean, why do people get married?
Yeah. I would like to, Kiki, you came to help the women's side. So could I get you to say, my name is, and here's what I do?
Okay, my name is Kiki Olson. I write about relationships. I've interviewed hundreds of people. And when I say I'm here to help the woman, I'm also here to help guys. Because if we don't start understanding each other, we're not going to have fun together. And that's why people should get married. Not to cook, not to clean. They want to be together. That's the most important thing.
Let me introduce, for the men's side, we have a male cheerleader. He is a professor at City College, a philosophy professor at City College. Michael, introduce yourself.
Michael Levin. I've written a book on this whole subject of men, women, the move toward equality that's kind of ruined things over the last 25 years. And while these particular examples may seem kind of extreme, the basic pattern between men and women is really illustrated here. Men want to be looked up to, they want to have high status, they want to be appreciated, and what nobody is saying, unless a man feels appreciated, unless a man feels waited on, the sex life tends to disappear. A man has got to
Now, did you say the sex life? Michael, I didn't understand. You said when a man...
You've heard of that, I assume.
No, you say it disappears when a man isn't waited on?
When a man is not waited on, when a man doesn't feel respected and doesn't feel dominant, his libido vanishes. No matter what you write in Cosmo.
I don't agree with you there, sir.
Oh, yes.
Let me ask our people on home base to sit for a while and listen to what our audience has to say. Go ahead, sir. Shoot.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but, you know, if all I wanted was someone to cook and clean, I could hire a maid and have a mistress on the side.
One is, I forgot.
Yeah. Well, then go to number 2.
About the sex drive. My husband hasn't lost it.
Well, you're very fortunate. Look,
I wanted to ask the women on the panel something. Did these men alert you, like during the romance and dating stage, that they actually felt this way? Because you seem really intelligent, and I don't think you would go into a marriage with men that you knew felt this way.
I think that's a good question to answer. Could we have our women on the panel answer it? Did you know they were like this before you married them?
How I met Ted is I went in for a job interview. I didn't know the rest of my life was going to work for him. But I went for a job interview, and when we started dating, 2 weeks later we started dating. I went into the little office I had. There was flowers on my desk. When they died, there was new flowers on my desk. I went off to college, went to Miami. Every weekend he was either down in Miami or I was back in Atlanta. It was back and forth. We could not stop seeing each other, calling on the phone. This man was the most romantic.
So you're saying you were promised something and you got something else. Very quickly, Lily, is that true of you?
See, things change after you've been married for a while.
Okay,
I mean,
Pat, is that true?
Like 20
Yes,
minutes.
they do change. but women change
They
after
do
you
change.
get married.
They do change.
They are never the same after you get married to them.
How can you?
No, that's
They're
because
not
y'all stopped doing all the things that you were doing in the beginning.
Yeah,
you stopped doing everything. You just sat around the house and give orders. That's it. And no, I don't want to.
The first thing that I'd like to ask the gentlemen on the panel, are your arms and legs painted on? Do you need your wives to do everything for you?
Well, that's the way I would like it. That's the way it was in the beginning.
He wants it that
You can't always have everything that you want. Secondly, when you guys were married, you took marriage vows that said love, honor, cherish, not do dishes, do laundry, and clean house.
That's part of it. That's part of the job, honey. That's part of the job.
Probably going to get beat up for this, but I have the best husband in the world, but then again, he has the best wife. I wish I could stay home and cook and clean. We have 2.5-year-old foster kids that we take care of, and they have to go to daycare because I have to work, but I would give anything to be in her shoes.
Really?
That one pair of shoes a year? That one pair? You want that one pair of shoes?
I work 3 hours, like 3 or 4 hours a day, so I have...
Yes, Michael?
These may be exaggerated situations. The business about giving a certain amount of income and so on, but this basic pattern does seem to be the natural and correct one that everybody likes. There's been no talk about the kids, and the fact is that when you have a situation, the wife goes out to work, you either don't have kids, or you hand the kids to the babysitters, and the kids, you can always tell a kid who's been raised by a babysitter. He has a kind of poleaxed look, a kind of bewildered look on his face. Maybe it shouldn't be a question of how much money you give, but this basic pattern is the one that seems to work, and there's just no sense fighting it.
That's right. The wife is taking care of it.
Thank God I'm not married, because before, you're always sending flowers, you're always sending candy, and then after a while you get tired of that, you want the woman to do everything. You got to stop and always keep up something for them.
All right. Here's a lady. We have a lady who really wishes, Leslie and Lily and Pat, that she was you. Maybe you better tell this woman what it's like to be you when we return.
The first fluoride toothpaste with the protection of real mouth rinse. The toothpaste and mouth rinse in one.
For a healthy mouth, healthy mouth. A new close-up mouth.
21st century technology works day and night to link all Walgreens pharmacies, so your current Walgreens prescription records are always as close as your nearest Walgreens. With Intercom, we can tell you when savings are available. We may even help prevent an allergic reaction. Concerned pharmacists, superior healthcare technology, only at Walgreens.
Walgreens is hippity-hopping with Easter values. Everything you need to fill your Easter basket, from candy to toys, plus the basket itself, all at Walgreens.
Psychic Mickey Dane has predicted major world events and happenings. Now, she predicts for you.
I've got the answer. Call Nat.
Your daily personalized horoscope in one simple phone call. Love, money, health. What kind of day will this be? Call Mickey now and find out. Everything you need to know according to the stars. What can you expect today? Find out. Call Mickey now.
We salute the hard-working American. If an accident is keeping you from working, you have rights that protect you, your family, and your future.
The Lebemoff Law Offices help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 423-2581.
A good man is hard enough to find. A good tall man is really hard to find.
On the next Joan Rivers, sexy, shapely Susan Anton.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
And when did you hit 5'11"? How old were you?
Just this morning.
Okay.
They gave him a deal. They gave him a way to get my daughter away from me.
Divorced women who don't have custody of their children.
And I said, but what about the boys? And he said, no, you can't have them.
Monday at 11 on 21 Alive.
Ma'am, I have the perfect solution for them. How I'm a maid and a prostitute.
Did you hear what she said? She said for you guys, hire you a maid and a prostitute. Michael?
A certain amount of animosity among the couples, which is not terribly attractive, but if you subtract that animosity, this is the basic pattern, the way things go. You say, well, a woman should be a prostitute, or the woman is a prostitute in this kind of marriage. On the other hand, the fact is that a woman likes to be attractive to her husband and likes to feel that her husband is attracted to her. A man, as I say, likes to be looked up to, and when he is, he feels that attraction to her.
Michael,
that's the natural rhythm, that's the way.
Are you saying?
It really does no good to call it insulting and call it being a prostitute.
What are you calling it? Then what are you calling it?
Love, sex.
It's not. Yes. Yes.
I'm inside of the audience.
Sally Hope, Sally.
Yeah.
Go over to her.
All right, I bring her a microphone. Hold on. Take the microphone away, right? We'll fix that.
Okay. I wanted to make the comment that whenever I do anything for my husband, it's out of love, and I hope that he would counteract that, you know, I just do it because I love him, not because I feel like I have to. Also, I have 3 little boys under the age of 5, and I choose to stay home, and I will raise them to be responsible and to do things to help, hopefully to help out their spouse. And one more thing about the man about hunting, my husband is an avid hunter, and turkey season's coming up and all that good stuff. There's give and take both ways, and I thank God that he's like
working for you.
Sally?
Sir.
Yes. I got something to say on that.
What did you want to say?
I got something to say on that. Okay, that's why we let y'all stay home, because we love you, you know? We want y'all to do these things, and, you know, you don't have to get in the workforce, and you know,
well, wait a second.
we take care of
y'all. I am in the workforce. If she's only working 8 hours at her
and see, if she stayed home, she'd make her own schedule.
But maybe she wants to be something else. Maybe she doesn't want to be your maid. You ever think of that?
That's not being a maid. That's just doing her natural job. That's all.
It's not a natural job.
It's a natural job.
When you get married and have children, that is a woman's primary function, is to be married and to have children.
If God wanted that to be a primary function, he would have had women have babies by themselves. He had men help them, so the men have got to help them the same way.
That's why we're in the helpers. That's why we're in the workforce.
Ted, let me ask our people on home
Then why did he give us strength? How did he give
Cleveland,
us?
hold just for a minute. Finish your sentence. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, finish your sentence. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And that's why he gave us the strength over y'all, that we can get out there and do the heavy labor.
Lily doesn't look like she's falling down to me.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Actually, I'm stronger than he is.
First of all, these 4 men I see here were embarrassments as males to me.
You think so? Why?
Yeah. When I married my wife, it's a mutual thing. I cook, I wash dishes, I do everything that she does.
You're the one that Leslie thought she was.
And my sex is in overdrive.
I don't think you heard. He said my sex is in overdrive. Yes, ma'am.
I have
4 sons and a husband at home, and I fish and I hunt with them, and they cook and they clean with me, and we have a good relationship. And then I remind them who's the smartest and who's in charge.
Who is?
Of course, the woman is.
Oh,
that's right.
We ready? Uh-huh. You stop the paper.
Check.
Iron turned off.
Check.
We need to stop at hooks.
Check.
It's nice to know that whenever you need something, there's a Hooks Drug Store right in your neighborhood. We've also made sure that no matter where you are in the Midwest, you're never far away from a Hooks Drug Store.
Honey.
Check. Because we like to see you smile.
Psychic Mickey Dane has predicted major world events and happenings. Now, she predicts for you.
I've got the answer. Call Nat.
Your daily personalized horoscope in one simple phone call. Love, money, health. What kind of day will this be? Call Mickey now and find out. Everything you need to know according to the stars. What can you expect today? Find out. Call Mickey now.
I'm Marty Wright.
And I'm Keith Edwards. At 21 Alive, we think it's time to stop talking about community concerns and start taking action.
That's why we've developed Inside Out, the area's first monthly primetime program offering help, guidance, and information on problems in our community.
On the first edition of Inside Out, we'll openly discuss the problem of child abuse and neglect. Then we'll put you directly in touch with people who can help.
Why just look at a problem when you can go inside to find answers?
Join us for the premiere of Inside Out Thursday night at 8 on 21 Alive.
2,000,004, 2,000,005.
The U.S. Census isn't just a population count. It helps allocate federal, state, and local funds to your community for things like hospitals, schools, and daycare centers. So take a few minutes and answer the census. It counts for more than you think.
Can you hear me? Kiki, we've said that this is more than just a battle that happens in the South and more than just a fight between men and women. This is a complaint that women have all over the country. What's really happening with us, if you had to sum it up? What's going on here?
The total confusion. Because what Michael is saying, yes, men wanted to be dominant, men wanted to do this, then all of a sudden women came along and now we want to do this. And there's that confusion because we want to keep our men, and yet we want to be the best women we can be, and we're afraid of losing our men. But there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, yeah,
They're not going anywhere.
I don't think
the most important thing, I think, is for women to understand first what they want to be. Pat, when he's out hunting, why don't you get yourself a great hobby? Why don't you do something that you really feel will make that time that he's away happy? So when he comes home, and you're saying, wow, I'm having a great time. I had a terrific time, darling. What did you do?
Kiki, is it as simple as that? Here's a man who only wants her to have all women, one pair of shoes. Is it just occupying your mind while he's away?
Just make them really great looking shoes. What can I say? If whatever you do, make yourself happy. That's the only way you can make your spouse happy.
Okay, we're going to get to Michael in just a minute.
Sally, I would just like to make a comment and ask a question. First of all, these people don't sound as if they're compatible. They should, before they even gotten married, they should ask one another, you find out what you have in common, your likes and dislikes, you know. And that way, I think your marriage would work. And this man here's saying that, I think you want a maid, you don't want a wife. You should not have gotten married. What you should have done, you should have advertised for a maid. No. And this man here that didn't want his wife to have one pair of shoes.
That's why we got
Please,
married.
God, tell me, how long will one pair of shoes last and what you going to pay for a pair of shoes? Thank God that I'm married.
That keeps her barefoot and pregnant is what I think he's really right now. Here's a gentleman with the other side. Sure.
I'm going to tell you, the problem started in the beginning of time. God created Adam and Eve. He created Eve to be a helpmate. The women outnumber the men in this country 7-1 or probably 8-1. If these women don't want to be with these men, they can leave because they're going to find them another woman, no problem.
Pat,
I agree with that.
Another maid?
No. Pat, you're trying to say something. What are you trying to say?
Can I say something? I want to say one thing.
No,
go ahead.
Leslie, let me talk to Pat first.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay. I want people to understand I love my husband very much, or I wouldn't have been with him for 27 years, nearly.
But what would you like to change?
I would like for him, he was raised like he feels, and I guess that's old-timey, because he was with 12 children. His mother stayed home and took care of them. But I would just like him to appreciate me a little bit more. But he's my best friend. I mean,
all right,
I've been with him since...
sorry you married him.
Oh, no.
Okay, Leslie,
I love him. I just like his views to change a little bit and him to understand that he's about the only man in the world besides these two that feel this way anymore. His idea of romance, on our 20th wedding anniversary, he was away, and he brought me home a plaque with a lady ironing on it, and it said, "A woman's place is in the home, and she should go there directly after work."
Leslie, you were trying to say?
Yeah, if man or a female makes the other one, like if I came home and made him feel like, hey, this is all I want you to do, I'm not going to respect you, I'm going to throw my clothes down on the floor, I'm not going to pick them up, that's not going to make him happy. What the marriage is supposed to be is for the man and for the wife to be happy and figure out what's going to make them happy, work together. You're going to have problems, you're going to have, I want to do this, no, you can't do this, but the whole purpose is to be happy, and if you come in with the attitude...
Leslie, are you happy?
Possibility.
Up until
today, I was.
No, are you happy?
Yes.
By and large, are you happy?
I am happy because this is what I do want to be.
Okay.
I just want him to respect me.
Hold.
How would you feel if you could change places with your wife and do the things that she has to do?
Good question. Would you, Ted?
No, I could not change places.
Cleveland, would you want to change places with your wife?
No. I wouldn't do half.
Would you want to change places with your wife, Boots?
Yeah, be glad to.
You would? Okay.
No, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
I have a 2- and a 6-year-old at home, and I don't work. I go to school at night, but my husband comes home and he understands when I've had a bad day and the kids, I'm just pulling my hair out because of these kids, and he tells me, you get out, don't worry, I'll cook dinner. He cooks dinner for the kids, everything, and I get out. You men have to do more understanding of how hard it is to stay home and less I want.
Thank you. I'm having a little trouble with you. I don't quite know what you're saying here. Are you saying that we should return to the old order of things, a wife's place is in the bedroom? Give me it in one sentence what you're trying to tell us.
I don't think we ever left it. There it is in one sentence. Despite all the big productions, all the efforts, all the show, all the affirmative action, all the everything, basically the patterns between men and women have remained about the same. And that's not a bad thing. Women are more suited psychologically for the kind of repetitive tasks that have to be done in the home.
Yes.
They're more patient. They're more patient than men are with children. They're better able psychologically
Michael,
to deal
tell
with
that
children.
to Margaret Thatcher
Children do not drive women crazy as they drive husbands. Husbands just couldn't do it. They couldn't clean up, and they would kill their kids in 72 hours.
Are you a college professor and you claim that women are more given to repetitive tasks?
Absolutely, and all the research data supports it. It's very difficult to get it published because there's so much censorship of it, but it's certainly true.
Unfortunately, the gentleman that said over here that there are 7-1 men, this is the attitude these men have. The women have taught these men that we need you so badly that we'll do anything, we're willing to do anything to put ourselves on the line and not have a life. I have a husband, let me tell you, who cooks, cleans, irons, cooks the bacon, and brings it home also.
So why
have
did
a
he get
mother-in-law
married?
who knows how to
the attitude of men and women toward marriage before marriage is very different. The average man doesn't think 10 seconds about the kind of woman he's going to marry before he gets married. It just happens. He wakes up one morning, he's got a wife and some kids. The average woman thinks a lot about, the average woman thinks and dreams about who she's going to marry, what kind of man is he going to be, this, that, and the other thing. What marriage means much more to women. It's a much bigger part of their lives, and so, of course, it's going to appear this way. It's going to appear.
Are you married, Michael?
Yeah, sure.
Ricky, I'll let you talk to Michael when we return. We'll take a break.
We've been doing a lot of talking lately about replacement windows, specifically about the new generation of ASI windows, about the European styling and engineering, and the durability and the energy savings.
But we haven't talked much about money, and maybe we should have. Maybe you're concerned about making the investment to replace all the windows in your home.
So here's an idea. Replace one window. That's right, one. Walk around and pick out the worst window in your home, then replace it with the best window on the market.
It's kind of like a test drive or a trial offer, especially since it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
You'll see how much more attractive your house can look with ASI, and you'll see how easy it can be to clean these windows with tilt-in sashes.
You'll feel more secure with these double locks.
You'll feel how much more comfortable you can be, too, with this insulated high-performance triple glass.
And you'll just plain feel wonderful knowing you can throw away the trim brushes and putty knives with this rugged, no-maintenance frame.
For many of you, it's not a question of the quality of this window. It's a question of investing in a house full of windows you don't know much about.
So try one window, just one, to see if it's worth the money. We've even worked out a plan to let you enjoy whole house savings if you do decide to add more windows.
Let us send you our complete packet of information outlining all the benefits of owning these wonderful windows.
You'll receive this informative booklet showing all our styles of windows and doors, plus news of our guaranteed fuel savings and our lifetime warranty.
We'll include more details with photographs comparing our window with other nationally advertised windows.
A special money-saving offer from ASI and a certificate for a valuable free offer simply for calling us right now.
It's all free and it comes to you with no obligation in the mail. Put an end to your window problems with one free phone call. Just dial our free 800 number now.
Skates on this. Kiki, you had one question for Michael?
I wanted to know if he was married.
Michael, you married?
I am, and my wife isn't here because she's at home taking care of the kids. Let me tell you another thing. Not only, I'll even say here on national television, my wife is smarter than I am, but that's an exception. By and large, while men and women, while men and women on average have the same intelligence, there are more brilliant men, there are brilliant women, and men are more interested in social status and sort of becoming famous and doing well outside the home. So
Michael, isn't that there are more brilliant men because the women have let them do that, or the men have tried to do it, and they have the job. I mean, you're honest. Why?
Why is it that way?
Why? Because women have been kept down by men for 400 or 500 years.
Well, then we must be more brilliant. If we can do that so easily, we must be more talented.
Question.
I have a comment to make. These are the most inconsiderate, intolerant people I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it takes a very selfish person not to grow and change as your life situation changes. My husband was a chauvinist when we got married. I waited on him hand and foot. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Why?
Doing his lunch. I loved him. I mean, you know, I had no...
But I can love my husband and not wait on him hand and foot. Waiting on somebody hand and foot. Now, wait a minute. Let's talk about this. I love my children. I'm not going to wait on them hand and foot. They're going to live their own lives.
I have grown up. I was raised in a family like that. My father was raised
so that's what we have.
by my mother, who stayed home and took care of the...
How'd you change him? In one sentence, I got about 2 seconds. How'd you change him?
I lived with him for 14 years and went on strike and refused to do things, and he had to pick up and do it.
Okay, I promised you, Lily. You said you wanted to say something.
That's exactly what I did. You know, after a while, I used to say, forget it. Give it up and go on and do what you want to do for yourself. A woman has to be strong these days. Say, for instance, that man decides that he's going to leave, or there's a tragedy in the family, and hopefully that doesn't happen when someone dies. Either be the male or the female.
You got to take care of yourself.
She can't go out there. She doesn't know anything about the workforce. She can't handle it. Or if it's the woman that goes,
when they get in the workforce,
and it's the man.
Will you? Let me do something in a minute. I want you, all the women on our stage, to think of something wonderful about their husbands. Don't tell me now. I'm going to give you a moment to think of something wonderful. Because I couldn't marry any of you guys, and I'm having trouble figuring out why you did it. Okay?
Well, Sally, all I was going to say is these three girls really look like they work hard, your panelists. And I really was wondering about my husband, but now I know I've got it made because of you.
Me too. Yes, over there, lady in front of the microphone.
Yes, I like to thank my husband for not being like any of those men in the panel.
You got it. Next lady. Next lady. No, sorry. Go ahead. Next lady.
We have an 18-year-old now and a 15-year-old, and when we were raising them, he got up for the 4 a.m. feedings all the time. I didn't have to get up, and he helped me around the house. I just recently returned back to work, and now he cooks, he cleans, and he helps me around the house. So I like to thank him for that.
And there are millions of men like that.
But, yes, Sally, I would like to say that, although I don't necessarily agree with these people who say that women don't belong in the workplace, because I think they've proven themselves there, but I do feel that a woman who is a mother, that her place is in the home, and rather than trying to kick it in the workplace, because I think a child needs that directing force in their life. Children are very easily influenced.
Could a man do it too?
I think the reason that I don't think that works as well.
Now wait, you're on stage now. Can a man raise a child himself also? Could he do it?
Not as well as a woman. Because
Really?
No, that's true. That's true.
Because I feel that by the very nature of the act of birth, there's a closer physical relationship between the mother and the child. And I know as a child growing up, I always had my mother there whenever I came home. And I think, today women are going out in the workplace, and 10 and 15 years down the road, they're asking themselves, what happened to my kids? And, what happened to their kids is that they weren't there when those kids needed them there.
Yeah, that's right.
I think maybe, and I, for one, am real tired of everybody blaming all the things that are wrong with kids on mom.
Yeah.
I think I've had it up to here, guys. I really have. There's a lot wrong with dad, and there's a lot wrong with the world.
They're not blaming mom. They're praising mom. Not blaming
I think it's great that woman has a wonderful husband, but why are we grateful when they do these things? Why don't we expect them?
Exactly.
Why are we thanking them?
They're not grateful when y'all do these.
They're not praising mom. They're praising mom. They're saying mom is important.
That's right.
I'm appreciative as the daylights when she does.
That's right. When she does, when she does things for me, I am
want to double this lady's salary. We'll be right back.
You can't always see it, but it's there. Residue from food, detergent, minerals, clinging to everything your dishwasher washed. Detergent alone can't get it off. You also need Jet Dry, a rinse agent, to shower it off in the final rinse and keep it from sticking to your dishes. So if you're serious about cleaning, use Jet Dry. It rinses off what detergents leave behind.
One all-purpose spray cleaner gives you over 50% more grease cutters than Formula 409 to clean just about anywhere.
Gee, that's fantastic.
You got it. Fantastic. More power, more places.
Here at the corner of Albany and Constitution on
You need a V8. One delicious glass of V8 juice provides a serving of vegetables, which is an important part of a balanced diet.
Drink your V8, will you, Frank?
Drink V8. Keep your diet straight.
As a secretarial student at ITT Tech, your daughter will be involved in much more than just typing.
The hard disk contains the operating system and the subdirectory files for the software needed in an office environment.
That instructor certainly knew what she was talking about.
Instructor? Oh, that was one of our students.
Find out more about ITT Technical Institute. Call now for this brochure. 1-800-942-0088.
It was a deadly case of revenge. Good morning, I'm Victor Locke. A Cuban exile held in the fire deaths of 87 persons at an illegal New York club early Sunday morning is said to be remorseful, nonetheless facing murder and arson charges. Closer to home, a suspicious fire at a Southside Fort Wayne business last night left a firefighter sore after he fell through a roof trying to douse the blaze. Area police are still seeking your help in finding 17-year-old Tanya Wiseman, last seen Friday at Southtown Mall. And in the weather, plenty of sunshine for the first part of the week. It's all at noon from 21 Alive.
Be careful not to say that we're talking about all men. Some woman wrote a book called Why Do I Think I'm Nothing Without a Man? You might want to think about that, some of you. This is Tony and Dorothy. They have been married. Mocha? Mocha. Mocha. Get in close here, Tony. They have been married for 35 years. The secret of their marriage, Tony says his wife knows there is one boss, and it is...
me.
Is that... All right, now, I want to talk to you, Dorothy. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine with me. We have no problem with that.
No problem.
No. A lot of people think when they hear that Tony's a boss that he stands there, you know, with his arms folded and he orders me around and tells me what to do. And that really isn't what our life is like. We do discuss things. We do. I want his approval, though. I don't go out and do most things on my own.
But I think that's fair. What is different between the two of you than what we're hearing with most women today? You said there's something different. What's different?
Is that if he does not want me to do something or does not approve, chances are I won't do it.
In other words, are you saying that it's comfortable for you to follow orders?
In a way, I don't, you know, I mean, it's like a joke in the family. I wouldn't go out and major purchase. I wouldn't want his approval. And he walked in the house one day and said, I bought a house this morning. You know, without even, you know, discussing it.
He bought a house without you seeing it?
It wasn't for us to live in. It was an investment. It just, I mean, you know, a few $1,000s. I bought a house today.
I don't order her. I ask her.
Okay, maybe that's the difference.
I'm kind of saddened. I look around. I'm really saddened. We have 50% divorce in this country, and nobody here...
Is it the woman's fault?
No, of course not.
Whose fault is it?
It's all of our faults, and nobody has ever mentioned the children, the next generation. You know what they say? That...
Thank you. Could we get you to sit down? Thank you.
Sally,
all right, Lily, I promised you.
See, Sally, see what he just said. He said that the children that are coming up, you know, whatever. That's the problem. That's why I said before that if we don't start with the children now, we won't. Then it'll keep on going on.
What's wrong with you being there all the time to make sure this is done?
I am home. I work from 11 at night till 7 in the morning.
Yeah, then I'll neglect it.
Just so that I can be with my children during the day.
Yeah, I want to take strong exception. Get away from this crossfire. I want to take strong exception to something you said to that gentleman over there. I thought that fellow said a couple of minutes ago was very intelligent and very moderate about how it's good to have the mother home because 15 years down the pike...
Michael,
Sally, hang on, Sally. And then you gave it a very malign twist. You gave it a very malign twist. You said, you see, everybody's putting all this burden on the mother. Quite the reverse. First of all, what that gentleman was doing was praising the mother, saying how important she is. And secondly, what kind of reasoning is it? You see the lioness picks up the lion cub, takes care of the lion cub, goes, hunts a zebra, and then you say, look at all the burden put on the lioness. Boy, you're going to make the lion cubs neurotic by emphasizing all those things.
But Michael, unfortunately,
it's the way nature has made it.
Every time a woman says, we have problems with the distribution of wealth, power, and economy, you men turn around and put that into the children.
Well, yes.
We're talking about completely different issues.
Oh, you can't just, so to speak, divorce the children.
No, but don't you see how it works? You say, I say we want equality, we want this, we want equal pay for equal work, and you go, but what about the children?
Well,
and then it throws the whole thing off.
That's a perfectly legitimate appeal. What about the children? You know, you are assuming that there's a certain kind of symmetry or mutual replaceability that just does not exist. And until it exists, which it never will, you can't just say, well, why don't you take their
I have more respect for men than you do. I think a man is fully capable of doing housework, fully capable of fathering, and fully capable of doing anything that a woman can do.
You can say all that, you can say it in fact, and you can get people to cheer, but that doesn't make it true.
Oh, Sally.
I'm sorry, I happen to respect men tremendously.
Sally,
I shouldn't respect men?
Not in that way. You're respecting them for something.
I think they're every bit as bright as women. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
The Legend of Tarzan captivated audiences for over 8 decades. On the next Entertainment Tonight, get the inside story on the Tarzan legacy. For some actors, getting the role meant instant celebrity. But for others, the part was plagued with problems. From accidents on the set.
I grabbed the tail of the panther instead of the vine.
To marriages on the rocks. What's behind the Tarzan legacy? Get the inside story on Entertainment Tonight.
Entertainment Tonight, Monday at 5:30 on 21 Alive.
He said he'd invest my retirement savings, $30,000. He's gone and I have nothing left.
They told me I'd be making $50,000 a year. I found out later I was ripping people off.
There are many reputable financial planners and stockbrokers, but there are also con artists who prey on innocent investors. Before you commit your money to a risky investment, contact the Secretary of State's office at 1-800-223-8791.
Fight fraud, Indiana.
Should your name be on this envelope? It should if you or someone you love is age 50 to 80, and it will be addressed to you if you call now for this important information. Free information about a life insurance policy designed especially for men and women age 50 to 80. Life insurance with no physical examination and no medical questions. You cannot be turned down regardless of your health or for any reason. And your premium will be $6.95 a month and will never increase. Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company wants to send you the important information in this envelope, and it's free. So if you are age 50 to 80 and thought it would be difficult to buy life insurance, shouldn't you call now? Here's the number.
For free information in the mail, call 1-800-262-0900. This is a free call, 1-800-262-0900.
For a transcript of this program, send $3 to Transcripts, Sally Jesse Raphael, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 10007, or call 212-227-READ.
Kiki, thank you for being with us. I agree there should be more fun in marriage. Leslie, you're young enough to make some changes in your marriage should you want to. Lily, I think you're doing just right, and I like the fact you went on strike. And Pat, I think you're a good woman who is in love with her man and maybe just needs a little shaping up. Michael, you're the only one I have real problems with. I'm worried my son will go to... Wait, I'm worried that my kid will go to City College and be taught as a male child your ideas. I'm really worried about
well,
it.
You know, good thing if it happens.
Some members of our audience will receive, and a promotional fee has been provided by
Broyhill. Our traditional Americana and contemporary furniture make people feel at home all over the world.
Clean up quick with a Bissell 3-way vac. It's 3 vacs in 1. A powerful stick vac. Fold the handle and it's a high-powered hand vac. With attachments, it's a tank vac too. Get yours today.
Expertise Professional Hair Care products combine the latest in salon technology with replenishing vitamins and proteins. The perfect balance of salon science and nature.
The richest chunks of pure chocolate we ever baked into a buttery tasting cookie.
Oh, someone help!
An irresistible variety of chocolate chip cookies from Chips Ahoy Selections. Dangerously delicious.
Strange office building. Well, I'd come in here.
Why do moms love Post Raisin Bran?
Well, it's important to me as a parent that my kids are getting a healthy breakfast. And I know they are with Post Raisin Bran. Both of my children just love the big raisins. They're really big and juicy and dark and rich looking. The flakes are just really good and big and full of fiber and flavor and stand up in milk. It's a good natural breakfast. It's delicious.
Post. Big raisins, big flakes. 2 big reasons you'll love the taste of Post Raisin Bran.
It's Nick Nolte. Fiddler.
I called 911.
And Richard Dreyfuss.
He's going to give that dog fleas.
Down and Out in Beverly Hills Sunday.
Two-thirds of college athletes pass on the courts but fail in the classroom. Some schools are trying to even the score. Watch Peter Jennings on ABC's World News tonight.
It's not too early to lay away that swimming pool and accessories while selection is at its best. Nisco, 5008 Decatur Road, AM 3625, North Clinton.
If you have to mix these to control weeds in soybeans, there's something you'll be glad to know. We finally got it together. Galaxy herbicide from BASF. The perfect mix of Basagran and Blazer with no carryover. If you're mixing Basagran and Blazer to control weeds when they spring up, then you ought to check out what's going down. Galaxy herbicide from BASF. The perfect mix of Basagran and Blazer with no carryover.
I'm Marty Wright.
And I'm Keith Edwards. At 21 Alive, we think it's time to stop talking about community concerns and start